what happened, but
right.
again, this is the third busiest interstate exchange
Right.
in the country, and there's a huge truck stop about the same distance from the bodies as the bicycles were found, and where 18-wheelers and commercial vehicles park overnight, and some of the profilers that I've worked with in the case have the same opinion that we're probably dealing with a serial killer.
Mm-hmm.
There's other child homicides in the region that remain unsolved with similar MOs, and so that seems to make the most sense. You know, it would be easy for me to sit here and say Mark Byers did it or Terry Hobbs did it or the boogeyman did it, but the evidence seems to suggest that with the foreign DNA sample that we have that we may be dealing with a serial killer.
And if it's a serial killer, truck stop's not too far away. That's where some of these people hang out.
That's exactly right. And again, with the other unsolved child murders in the region, it seems to be a viable theory. Of course, again, it's just that, a theory.
Right.
But I'm not going to point a finger at Terry Hobbs until I can be certain that he committed the crime.
I'm just playing detective, Your Honor.
I understand. I understand completely. I've been doing the same thing for many years.
Let's go here in another direction. I've consulted one of our, I know you probably don't know what it is. We had a badge program, and I won't get into that right now, but in our badge program we had a member that's a forensic odontologist, and I kind of wanted to get with you on the bite mark that you came up with. Has that been excluded now?
It has. We consulted with several odontologists, and one of them gave us an opinion that it was a human bite mark that was found on the victim Branch's face just above his left eye socket. And unfortunately, bite marks are not as compelling as evidence as, say, fingerprints or DNA. So it's still one of those things that it's the battle of the experts, so to speak. And the state of Arkansas, to refute that theory, hired the world's leading authority on bite marks, and he determined that it wasn't. That was his opinion. And so we essentially decided that dog wouldn't hunt very good, and we abandoned that concept. But that part of the case was vividly portrayed in the HBO second part of the HBO series, and so I get a lot of questions about that when I go out and speak.
Okay, and my odontologist that I spoke with, I'm not sure if you're familiar with him. It's Dr. Peter Loomis out of New Mexico, and I talked to him this last week. He again pulled up the pictures of that, and I think he said that he had given those pictures to a few other highly renowned odontologists, and they had come to the conclusions too that that was not a bite mark. But I asked him, even though he's an odontologist, I just happened to ask him, there are marks there. Could it have possibly come from a tool mark? What do you think about that?
The star in what we thought was a bite mark appears to be a Phillips screwdriver being embedded, and there's several marks that match that on the bodies, and that's been one of the things that has haunted me throughout this case, is trying to determine where that mark could be made. It does appear to be some sort of tool marking. There's another patterned abrasion on one of the children's legs that's the state submitted to the court by using a non-expert police officer to point this out, but that was caused by a rope, because Miss Kelly said that the kids are tied up with a big brown rope. But getting back to the odontology stuff, keep in mind that we don't have a body to do the bite mark impressions with. We have a photograph at autopsy, and so we have this two-dimensional photograph that we're looking at, and it's really in a three-dimensional setting, and so the bite mark's going to be slightly exaggerated one way or the other, and it's pretty tough to do, is to take a bite mark from a photograph. Sometimes you get information